Hello, how are you today? This is JilliBling, and I have one more project to share using the bundle Ranunculus Romance. And here it is. And this one I planned on doing for tomorrow, but it came together so quick, and I love it so much I just want to do it today, right now. So here is the project. That's my Roomba. Hopefully she's not coming out to play. So this project we will use the dies Brilliant Wings, also ornate frames just for this little tag right here, and of course Eden's Garden for this border die. Okay, so there's a sample. Pearls will be 4 right here, just a small one, a lineup of them. This time I want to use the fine art ribbon with a little hint of gold. And this is for the words. Since that's on top, let's just do that. That's going to be in Memento. And I like the words just because it fits perfectly on that little tag die. Okay, so here are the dies. These right here. So, and you know, I like to cut my paper out. I just set it on there and then cut it out only because if I had this go through my machine and got a tickle, and my cutting plates are really scratched up, it would leave that lovely cutting plate impression in here. So if I cut it, this stays fresh. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out on my machine. So here it is. And what's next in the pile? The butterfly. So this butterfly is in fresh freesia, and then it's sponged with Highland Heather. So here's Poppy Parade. So I'm going to cut it out first, and then I'm going to sponge it. So the butterfly is 2 layers, as you could see right here. The detail layer is in black on top, and the solid layer with no detail on it is in color. So out of this die set, I will use this die for color. This die, well, I have 2 of them here. Hold on. So this one is there. I want to use this big monarch type butterfly with these fancy little wings down here. So I'll cut this out. Here I have one cut out. I already put the pearls on it. And then to figure out which one to cut out the colored paper, I know it's this one right here. Okay. So just get it lined up. Oop, kind of close there. Okay, so I'm going to get a full complete cutout in Poppy Parade. Okay, so there it is. Then on the butterfly, as with this one, I took a sponge, added a little bit of a deeper hue in Highland Heather. So I want to add a little color with Cherry on top of the Poppy Parade. I haven't tested this, but I'm assuming it's going to work really nice. So my Cherry, let me check it first. Okay. So just start in the center and work your way out. Yeah, that's pretty. And I'm trying to leave definitely Poppy, definitely Cherry. 2 different colors. If I did the whole thing, it would just be a, what kind of word can you say between Poppy and Cherry? Choppy. It'd be choppy. Okay, so that looks good. At this point, it looks just a little bit dirty, but for this project, it's going to be really nice. So look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's really elegant. And at first I had planned on trimming off all this extra poppy, but I kind of like it. So to attach this, I would say use glue dots, but when I was doing the sample card, glue dot is happy to stick to my black paper. Once it went on to here, it kept on lifting off. It lifts off really easy. Therefore, and I know that's happening because the ink is still a little bit wet. So just use some liquid glue. And get it right in place. And then put some weight on it, or I have a new tool on my desk, which I'm just loving these days. Leftover from Valentine's Day balloon that went with the flowers. And this usually I would throw it away. It's become my favorite tool. I need a bigger one. Okay, I just want to hold it together for just a few minutes. Okay, have the words. We'll stamp on here, and then it's just a little black layer underneath. This is for the edge die, this one right here. And that's going to make these two edges. So I'm going to run it through twice. Here it is. That one was used on the other card. We don't need that. Okay, we're getting there. Inside paper. Usually I like to make it a couple of layers, but this one just doesn't need it. Basic black cardstock inside. So let's get to working on stamping all kinds of stuff. Look at all those little bits. Yep. So that's going to be in Memento ink. And I'll start with this one. Or you know what? I wonder if, you know how I always like to change things up. Okay, I'm going to try to do it this direction. I don't have a plan for it. And if you can, stamp your images straight. And if they're two-tone like that, that's okay, because this is kind of collage. That one's really two-toned. And if you're looking at this thinking, well, that looks kind of not good, in the end it will. Oh, that one's crooked. But it seems like I always do that one crooked. That's a little better. I really like this stamp. Especially if I could get it straight. Okay, back to this one. There's random everywhere. Okay, and how about number 1413, Lily. Someone has the name Lily. They need this stamp set. You can see there's no reason, rhyme to where everything goes. It's just a bit all random. Once it gets sponged, it doesn't matter where everything is. You know, I should be doing the inside too. I'll do that in a minute. What else? Ooh, Eiffel Tower. That is what that is, right? Yeah. Did you see that they put a radio transmission tower on the top of the Eiffel Tower yesterday? And they had a, I don't know if it was a drone or a crane, something hoist it. Those people up there, there's no way I could ever do something like that. They were up on top of that thing, receiving the tower, and then they were connecting it. Yeah. Okay, so this part right here, putting the flower in, icing on the cake. Anywhere. Isn't that pretty? Now do the other flower too. Yeah, one more flower. And I'm hoping that honey knocking at the door will go around. Okay, so it's looking a little bit busy right now, but when you sponge it, it brings it all together, so it's kind of a collage style and very vintagey. Isn't that nice? So when sponging, I like to have ink on the tip, and then if you just kind of slide it down, that's what makes for good soft edges. And also if you go this direction and then back the other direction, that's what makes it really kind of smoky and nicely sponged. Okay, so there, now it all came together, huh, with the sponging. And while we're at it, we could do the little label here, just a little bit, because I want that to remain looking vanilla. I don't want it just to blend in with this background. Then also while we're at it, let's do the inside, and then we'll stamp it. But when you go just one way, you could see like the little ink strokes with the sponge. But if you go and do it a little bit of a different direction, and then the opposite direction, that's what makes it look really soft and kind of graduated from heavy ink to not much at all. Of course, right when you go into the ink, you make streaks, but I'll show you how to soften that up. Okay, so the less ink that's on the sponge, the softer the sponging will get. So I'm going to go back over that. And that kind of softened it up a little bit. Okay, I think we're done with sponging. Oh, you know, maybe I could sponge around the outside of, I don't know, I'm going to check it on the back. So this is what I'm thinking. That's kind of pretty, but I don't want to take away from the poppy color. Oh, that looks good. Who knew? Because you could still see poppy, and then even the butterfly looks vintagey. Okay, that's a pretty butterfly. So, done with sponging, and these little shards like that, take a minute to get them gone because they come from the sponge. The sponge breaks down with time after you have ink touch it, and they will leave behind, here I'll show you, they'll leave behind little streaks. So you want them gone. Okay, done sponging. So, let's see. You can already see it coming together. It doesn't take long at all. I think all that we need to do is stamp on the inside. I like the hello. So on this one I stamped just a simple hello and then random eclectic collage type on the bottom. So let's do that. Hello. Ended up a little heavy there. I just re-inked my pad. Yeah. And some of the script. I'm trying to keep it just down low on the card. Okay, what else? Where's that tower? The postage stamp one. And where's Lily? I love the name Lily. Cute. Maybe it's going together so well because it was already sponged. Before you sponge it, it's like, okay, that's a mess of stuff. But once you sponge it, okay, once you put the flowers on it, pretty. Oh, I still have another flower to do. Getting carried away. That's so pretty. I love this card. Maybe this stamp set, I love the other designs, but maybe it's just intended to be collage, because I was trying to color the flower and it came out fine, but there's something magical about this one. I think it's just assembly time. See, it's really easy. You know what? My mess up on the hello, in some ways, I'm liking that. It's like, it's a vintage. That's, back in those days, that's the best they could do. They weren't fancy stamping like we are. Okay, this gets adhesive. Okay, this gets adhesive to hold the border die. Oh, it needs to be closer to the edge. Okay, let's assemble. I love this little stitching, so I'm going to try to preserve that. Good, good. And this side. So when you're cutting this die, if you can, try to keep one of these solid. The other one will be chopped off and just have like little daggers, fingers poking out. And you could trim those off. But just think about that when you go to cut out your die cut border piece. Okay, so that part is done. Oh, and you know, the ribbon, I would wrap it around this way. Well, let me see. Well, no matter what, this is going to go on here. Look at that butterfly. That's a big butterfly. So the ribbon, you know what, it could still go up and down. So it's, oh, this is sticky. Ooh, look at that inside. One stamp set. Voila. Okay, so the ribbon, I want to use this golden ribbon. Isn't that pretty together? The vanilla plus the gold. Okay. Well, tie it around, and I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Tying it in a bow when I have a long piece like this, it never seems to work for me. My bow always is going sideways. So, I'm not going to fight that battle. Just tie it on. Oh, and this ribbon will go really nice with the linen thread too. Yeah, I planned that. Okay, so I'm not sure where should the knot be. Kind of like the butterfly up here. Oh, it's sticking in the adhesive. Let go. I need to scooch the knot a bit. Okay, so this could go a little lower. Maybe go right to the edge. Okay, before I stick it down, let's try it. Just because. That's cute. That's how it shall be. So this piece I am going to put on with a regular adhesive, but because the ribbon is a little bit thick, I'm going to use tear tape all along here. Especially on both sides of the ribbon. Definitely don't want that popping up. Maybe a little bit right there. That's not going anywhere. Okay, I could, yeah, I'll just do this. Could use regular adhesive, but because there's no excitement going on this side. Oop, got lots. Okay, probably saying you could have just done some big pieces, but that's okay. Stick that adhesive in place. Okay. So this is the final one of my Ranunculus Romance Gotta Have It box. So if you order the box before March 29th, the bundle, I would love to send you card kits for all 5 of the projects. And of course, because you have the bundle, it's pretty much paper and die cut pieces that are coming your way, all ready for you to make these. Okay, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So for this, I want to tie it on with linen thread. But this one I ended up using just a little piece, kind of looping it through there. And then just the little tags kind of hanging out here. So I have a little piece. And if ever you have anything that has multiple fibers and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get those through that tiny hole? I have a trick. Take your adhesive, get some on your finger, and roll it around. In other words, transfer the adhesive from your finger to the end of the string. So guess what? It goes through without a problem now. And I'll trim that off because it looks a little ugly. Okay, so I'm going to trim off that adhesive needle threader. So this is going to go right here, be underneath a little bit. That could go on with dimensionals. Gosh, pretty, pretty. Okay, maybe regular. Okay, 2. Now just have the linen thread up on the other side of the knot. If you want, you could put a glue dot to hold it in place, because I don't think it's going anywhere. Maybe a glue dot to hold the knot. See if the glue dots work this time. They didn't work on the butterfly, but that's because of the glue being wet. Okay, then I'm going to trim up the ends of the ribbon. And attach the butterfly with a dimensional. Dimensionals make them pop up like he's flying off the page. Probably should do it with glue because there's already a lot of texture on this project. Right there. Okay, what do you think? Which one do you like better? I'd love to hear your comments. Few of you have been commenting a lot lately, and I really appreciate it. Penny and Brenda, thank you. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so that's it for Ranunculus Romance. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.